There we go. We're recording.
Beautiful.
There she did it. Thank you, Mrs. Goldstein. Okay. So now we're learning Sefer Chavetz Chaim Hakdama. There's just a footnote to finish the Hakdama. And he says like this. It's a little bit long, but let's go. While you polymaniac queries, don't be surprised. Came to call Sefer Zemyusar Ikre Halacha. Since we're talking halacha here, Lamani maybe becoming Makamis Rayas. Misefer Shari Tshuva Benu Yoina. Shumikal Sifrei Musa. Everybody knows Shari Tshuva goes on the Musa in the Musa section of the Svarim. So why am I quoting a Musa Sefer if I'm writing a halacha Sefer? It says, don't be surprised. Ki be'emes diralei naimlus boinin hated b'mamor v'hakadeshim v'kamen kermis. Someone who learns the Sefer Shari Tshuva well, Sheshama v'dik, we'll see. Sheshama v'diktek is dvarav shoyot we get that he was careful to write everything he wrote lefi the halach ubefrat and specifically medina lashon hara shaloi b'chol inyan b'inyan shekosav. In every aspect of the hilchos of the lashon halachas he was writing, he was careful. It should all be halacha yesh azem mekorman hashas, something that has a source in Gemara v'kashen ervar and yitz Hashem b'fnim hasefer, as we will explain. Again, remember, on the bottom of the sefer, there's the Be'er Mayim Chaim, where he brings all the sources for the halach. B'fnim hasefer, achu kitama, just the Shari Tshuva wrote very in short. He didn't bring his sources, just as the way it's the way of the Rishonim to write just short. Also, it's still up here. And with all of this that I'm saying, I also generally, mostly, didn't only rely on what the Shari Tshuva wrote, unless it was a kula. So there, I was willing to rely on the Shari Tshuva, even if I didn't have a background. But when any time was to be machmir, it's just about always. I brought other proofs besides the Shari Tshuva. He says, I know that it could be that people, there will be people that want to find fault by other people. And they're accustomed to speak lashon hara about it. To the extent nothing's going to help them to speak their garners when it comes to this. And such people, interesting enough, he says, when they find in my sefer some leniency, they won't be careful to make sure they're fulfilling all the pratim, all the necessary requirements to be able to rely on the kula. And based on that, they'll allow certain things that I never thought of even. They'll see there's a kula. Now, it's true, if you go a little further, you'll see the kula only applies in such a case, but they ignore that, and they'll just rely on the kula. Well, so, maybe I shouldn't write kulas, the whole time is saying. Maybe it's preferable that I don't write these kulas. And they won't be bothered because doing this, even though it's a kula, because then they say, look, Mefurish Chavetz Chaim. Achamarti. Says Chavetz Chaim, but I said to myself, I'm not going to hold back good, those who want to be good, right? Because of such a people. There are people who want to know the halacha, they want to conquer this lashon hara thing, and I'm going to write what's necessary to write, even if some people will take it and distort it. The Gemara says such a thing. Amra, umehaikra amra, ki yisharim darchei Hashem tzadikim yelchuvam. The ways of Hashem are straight, are yosher, and tzadikim go there. U'rishoyim yikochlu. And that same halacha, the Rishayim stumble because they distort it. They use it for their own, and you write it. The Torah still writes it. V'yadatki gam yadatki yimtzu anoshim says, and I know there will be people asher yirtzu lahamed esmalas halim b'binyan zeh. Don't want to minimize learning these halachas. V'yitlu satzman b'mar chazal. And they're gonna, on what basis are they gonna say that they shouldn't learn this? Because Chazal say, "Mutav sheyesh shogim about you mazidim." There's such a cloud that sometimes we don't teach a certain halacha because it's preferable. I know they're gonna transgress anyways. It's preferable let them be shogig rather than be mazid, and they're gonna say the same thing should apply here. Says the Chavetz Chaim, but it does. That rule doesn't apply. Why? Says the Chavetz Chaim, I'm still correct in writing this sefer for two reasons. Number one, the davam force for Torah ain't a remut. That if something's explicit in the Torah, you don't say that statement is better. They should be shogig. Moshe Pasuk Berakayim, as it's brought in Shulchan Aruch, Cemetery Pafeish Ches, Beis Bago. Lashon Harachilus is davam force for Torah, and the is of Lashon Harachilus is explicit in the Torah. So if so, that rule doesn't apply. And number two, in Cain, if you're going to say this rule applies, it's like a blanket rule. Let's not teach people the halachas of stealing. The gam zeh kosher moed lekam. Also, it's something very hard. But Phil Kavoy Shaber Chazal wrote for Baba Batson in the Gemara. Right? So let's not teach it to them because it's hard. So it's better. Let's just say it's better they should be shoging and they shouldn't be mazed. Be here toils I call upon him limiting on a mailing not to match some offering. 1 minute, I lost something here. 1 minute in parentheses. Even though there in the Gemara and Bag Basra it says that when it comes to Lashon Hara, everybody stumbles. It was only in reference to Avak Lashon Hara that you could say everybody stumbles. As the Gemara there itself asks, Lashon Hara, you think of Lashon Hara, you say everybody stumbles. So the Gemara says, no, it means Avak Lashon Hara. And of course, that's only if you're not working on this. So learning these halachas will at least save you from outright lashon. Even if you're going to say the Gemara says everybody does it, but the Gemara talks about avak lashon. But feeling avak lashon yuchalinot says Chavetz Chaim, and even from avak lashon, if you learn these halachas, you can be safe from it. If you put your mind to it, because what the Gemara says that everybody transgressed, rak mistama. That's only if you don't learn the halachas. But if you sit and you learn the halachas, of course, there's nothing in the Torah that you say everyone stumbles. Also, so we won't teach Gemara halachas of Gezel based on this rule. We won't Shabbos. Perhaps we shouldn't teach Hochas Shabbos. Shem Kavor Matulim B'Sara. They're very hard. You know, they're very hard. There's so many difficult questions there. Maybe it's better not to teach it. So can't be, says the Chavetz Chaim. And further, another argument against this rule that they want to apply, it's a true rule in certain cases, like on a Derabanan. He says, how could it be that the Gemara taught us the basics of this halacha? Like it says, what's the example of Lashon Hara? Rabbi Palnya gives an example. You see, the Gemara itself teaches it. And also from the pasuk itself, it says, Miriam. Right? Remember what Hashem did to Miriam on the road that she became a tzaras for speaking Lashon Hara about her brother. You see, the Torah itself is commanding us. The Ramban b'biur b'shem hasifri. The Ramban brings in the name of the Medrash, shetzarich liskot tamid bapeh. You have to constantly remember verbally, Ma'aseh Miriam. What happened to Miriam? So that we will realize how serious this Avera is. According to these people arguing against me and saying it's better not to write the Sefer because it's better to be shoygeg. Adrabah. So it should be just opposite. Loy nisker. Let's not remember it. then we could be shaygig. Elavade says the Chavetz Chaim concludes Vade that Torah Yerdu says that's odd. The Torah knows our abilities. And that we can overcome it. Because if it's something that's beyond our control, the Baruch Hu doesn't come to catch us, to trip us up. Because she's pointing Bezer, tells Gedalia not to move in. But rather, when you think about this, and you think about Miriam and what happened to Miriam, you'll be able to be saved from this Avera. Further, we get tremendous benefit from learning these in Yonim. So that even if you're going to stumble, you're not going to relate to it as something that's hefker. Because you're learning the halachas. Okay? You tripped up. So then, even if chas v'shem you do stumble once in a while, so you did an avera, but you're not called a bal lashon hara. That about balei lashon hara, the Gemara says sheshaku connect. We learned this earlier. A lashon hara is considered equal to the three big averas. That's talking about a balei lashon hara, someone who is hefker, he speaks regularly lashon hara. Someone who keeps the halachas but stumbles once in a while. It's like someone you're gonna say who keeps Shabbos and he stumbled. So now you call him a Machal Shabbos? It's not a Machal Shabbos. He slipped. But someone who doesn't keep Hilchah Shabbos, he's a Machal Shabbos. Same thing here. If you're careful and you're learning the halachas and you slipped, so you don't become a Baal Lashon Hara. You're just someone who did an Aveira of Lashon Hara, and that's a much smaller Aveira than the Bali Lashon Hara. Yeah. The Einim Makablan Shechina. Chazal wrote about the Bali Lashon Hara. They don't read in the future the Shechina, but Yotzim Onshim Chamurim. And similar, very serious punishments. As clear from the words of Rabbeinu Yaina, U'Medivrei Kesef Mishnah, on the Rambam, then it's just a love. Okay, I shouldn't use the word just, but it's a love. I'm learning the halachas. I'm being careful. I tripped up. Also, I'll know that I did an avera. I'm able to do tshuva. The Navi Yirmiyahu says that Hashem says, "I'm going to judge you because you're saying I didn't do anything wrong." This case, so that's a wrong philosophy. This way, by learning the halachas, I know I did something wrong, and I'll be able to do tshuva. I'll be able to go over to my friend who I spoke about him, to the other, be mafayis him, or the focus or at the very least, I won't speak anymore. When not so, if you just ignore the halachas, you don't consider it an avera at all. Okay, so that's Sefer. That's the Hakdam of Sefer Chavetz Chaim. If Yetz Hashem on Sunday, we'll start the Psicha. Let's just learn a quick piece of Shmiras haLashon. Okay, so we're doing a Shar HaTorah Perikes, where again he's talking about tremendous obligation to raise your children to learn Torah. He says, "Emes anu tzrichim l'sbois sheish ulehikolei ma'avoseinu." Truth is, we have to be embarrassed from our forefathers. The early generation of Bekama Meir Shanim U'Fneim that were some few hundred years before us. Manoshev lehem. And what will we respond when they ask us, why were you so lax from learning Torah and fulfilling the mitzvahs? All the decrees, the bad decrees, and all the bad things that happened to us, that we had so many Yisurim, Levatal HaTorah mitzvahs, that they did tell us that we shouldn't learn Torah. This is the forefathers. And yet we strengthen ourselves. And against all of that pressure and all that suffering that the Goyim were forcing us to be Mavato Torah, we stood up against it. To protect the Torah in honor of Hashem. and we were careful not even to transgress a Darabonim. Va'ata Be'ezus Hashem, but you, Be'ezus Hashem, sheyisim choisim b'tzal malchi chesed, that you were under the protection like in America. You could serve Hashem with no problem. And the Goyim allow you to fulfill Torah mitzvahs. So you guys were lax. Is the government his time in Russia? I guess in his time, right? Are they not allowing us to send our kids to the Cheder to learn Torah? Hashem. And now he says over here a line or two that then he says it's from the censors. He says, our kings in our times, they believe in Hashem, they give respect to the Torah. I guess it's just that the king wants. Then when they turn 21, it's time to go to the army. In other words, he's speaking in praise of the Caesar, the head over there, who was really not for the Jews at all. So how could it be that we who have the ability to learn don't learn? He says that's because the Tahara overcomes us Bar Moser with his sneaky tactics to remove from us our fear from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, so that's it. Simcha, I didn't notice you here. Shalom. Maisha, you got to tell your wife to stop recording.
Oh my.
Maisha's in the car somewhere also. This share spans cities and states and
it's like the UN.
firmly not.
Pretty much.
No, where's Reverend Goldstein?
I'm texting. I'm trying. Hold on. Hold on. Let me try here. I'm trying.
I'll bring this from you.
Let me see.
Oh wow, Levi Kelman.
Yeah, I saw that. It popped up.
Got to reach out to this.
I know. I had in mind to take care of this.
No.
I'm trying here. There's no other way, right? I can't take. Can I take over here? Is there any way?
You know what you can do? Yeah, you can. You know what you can do. You can also just, if well, you can just, it ends. It will. It's all being recorded anyways.
Is it recorded anyways? If we all
yeah, it's recorded anyways.
Of course.
So leave the meeting.
Yes, we could do that.
So just like,
Okay.
All right. I'm leaving.
All right,
Have a good Shabbos, everyone.
All right, good Shabbos.
Take care, good Shabbos. Yo, sorry. I'm thanks for doing that. I was,